Healthcare costs are 10 times higher for premature births. Find out how you can be involved in helping turn those numbers around. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning with the Myrtle Beach Herald, we're focused on the March of Dimes, Walk America. And we're visiting with Coleen Shanley, the Community Director for the PD Division. Good morning, Coleen.
Good morning, Greg.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's been quite a while since you were in.
It's been a little while, but we've been very busy.
A lot going on. You got 3 walks coming up in the next 4 or 5 weeks.
That's right. We're in the home stretch. It's the top of the 9th inning, and we're ready to go.
Golly, listen to those words. That's hilarious. You've got the, of course, you got the Loris Walk on April 23rd.
Right.
The Lake City Walk on April 3rd, and I believe the Dillon Walk's coming up.
Right. That's May 7th, and actually the Lake City Walk is on our National Walk America Day, which is April 30th.
Great. Golly, a lot will be happening in the county that, in Horry and Florence counties.
Right. We've got a lot of things going on. Walk America's really taking storm right now. All the teams and the different companies are just raising money, and they're on the home stretch, as I said.
So the first one for you is on April 23rd. Let's go ahead and talk some about the Loris Walk America. What are some of the activities going on that day?
Well, we've got a lot of things going on, actually. The walk, actually, you register at 9:30, and we start the walk at 10 o'clock. We've got the ROTC going to warm us up. We've got a band that's going to be playing some tunes, and then they're going to walk throughout the community, and it usually takes about an hour or so. They're going to come back. We're going to have McDonald's and Hardee's hamburgers and Pizza Hut pizza and fun activities for the kids to play, hula hoop contests, door prizes. We've got actually a voice instructor that's going to be having her kids out to do some singing. So we're just going to have a lot of fun.
Great. Golly. And, of course, later this week, Jennifer Bullard's coming in. I believe her twin sons are your ambassador babies this year.
They are. We've been very fortunate to have the Bullard family. They've been an absolute incredible representative of what the face of the March of Dimes is. With these 2 babies being born prematurely, being twins. Ben came in weighing 2 pounds 10 ounces, and Matt was 3 pounds 7 ounces. And Jennifer had a big struggle throughout her pregnancy with some different things. She had to actually have experimental surgery in utero, and that was a big complication and big scary time, but they got through it, and the boys are doing well. She just told me that actually Ben is finally caught up to Matt in walking, and so now he's walking and he's doing good. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them at the walk that day and seeing them walk.
And, of course, for viewers who may not have attended a walk in the past, the ambassador babies kick off the walk. They
do. They lead our walk because they are, like I said, the mission of the March of Dimes. They're the face of the March of Dimes, so they do lead the walk, and it's a great representative to have them lead the walk. And we probably will be followed by some other past ambassador families that'll be right behind them, and then the rest of the teams.
Great, Coleen. Now, do you have ambassador babies in all the walks? Do you have them on May 7th in Dillon as well as on the 30th in Lake City?
We do. I think that's very important for the March of Dimes, is to have ambassador families. The only unfortunate things is sometimes we don't know who those babies are because we don't have the facilities in our communities. We don't have NICUs. They have to either be transported to McLeod or to MUSC. So we don't always have that opportunity to find out, but we're pretty good with our chair people that are able to find those babies in the community and have that representation. And for them to tell their story.
Oh, yeah. And you really do give an opportunity for the mother or the father of the children to get out. And Chris Saffels was with us a couple of weeks ago for the Horry County Walk America, one of the fathers of Riley Saffels, or the father of Riley Saffels, sharing the word on behalf of the family about some of the activities going on with his wife's pregnancy and, of course, their daughter's strengthening. But, of course, you've got to have a parent who's really willing to embrace this as well, Coleen.
Absolutely. And we do let them know that, there'll be a little bit of public speaking and making sure that they feel comfortable with that and to tell their story. And most of the times we do get them, they're ready to tell their story because they know how important it is to get that awareness out there to other people and to other families and to let them know that, they're there for them too.
Absolutely. Very important. If a viewer needed to get off to school now or get out to work, Coleen, what's the best number for someone to call to learn more about the upcoming walks, whether it's the Loris Walk on the 23rd or the Lake City Walk or even the Horry County Walk America on the 30th? I think Georgetown has a walk coming up, maybe on the 23rd as well.
Right.
A lot of walks going on here in the spring.
We do. We have 5 walks actually in the spring. Joe and I are pretty busy we're doing actually 2 walks each weekend, and we're in different communities doing them.
Wow.
So we're real busy. But they can call the March of Dimes office locally at 488-3463. That's 488-DIME.
Okay, 488-DIME. And of course, for viewers, you know, we think about a Conway office there, but y'all are serving walks in Dillon, in Marlboro, and Marion County. I think in the fall, the Marion and Marlboro walks kick off.
Right.
There's other walks going on all the time. I guess Florence has a big walk coming up.
They do, actually. We've got walks all the time going on, but predominantly most of the walks are done in the spring, and then we just have a few of them in the fall time, because that's when we do some special events as well. Our chef's auction and some other real estate event takes place at that time.
If a viewer called the 488-3463 number, would they learn about registering for the walk and obviously what to do for them to get involved? If a viewer was calling now, let's say they lived in Loris and they wanted to get involved, they were just hearing about the walk for the first time, do they have enough time over the next 10 days, a little less than 2 weeks, to get involved?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of times our teams are really in the crunch for 2 weeks outside of the walk, and that's when they're really starting to raise money, so there is more awareness out there as well. But they can raise money up until the day of the walk. They can bring their their money to the walk site. That's fine. But there's all different ways that they can do it, and really just asking your friends and family for a donation, or you can go online and register by going on to walkamerica.org, and they can register online as an individual and start raising money by just sending out emails.
Golly, that's another viable way. You can either get on the phone or get online.
Absolutely. There's so many different ways that they can do it. I mean, it's not too late. They can do a bake sale real quick and raise some money that way. Everybody likes to eat.
Yes, everyone likes to eat. That's right. And of course, there's a lot of eating going on walk days. You said so many vendors are donating foods, drinks, beverages for the day of walks. And of course, as you said, a real celebration for all the activity leading up to it.
We're very fortunate because we do have a lot of different vendors that provide the products free of charge, and they do that donation, and it's really nice for the community to see that they do participate, whether it's maybe not a financial contribution, it is an in-kind contribution, and we very much appreciate that as well.
For funds that are raised, let's say a viewer was interested in getting involved with the Loris Walk, which is less than 2 weeks away. If they're able to raise $10 a day, we're talking about $120 over the next 12 days leading to that. If you're at certain levels, there are opportunities. Let's say, is it a T-shirt you'd get?
Right. You get a T-shirt for every if you raise $100, you get a Walk America T-shirt, which I didn't provide today, but we've got a great T-shirt again, and it does have the sponsors' logos on the back of the T-shirt for each community. There's just different other rewards that they get. We've got door prizes going on, and we do have team awards for the plaques. With the plaques, they'll get plaques for the top individual, and we have some special things for them that I'm not going to let you know about. They're going to have to come and see.
Where are all those dollars going that are raised, let's say for next Saturday's walk there in Loris or the walk on the 30th in Lake City? Where are the funds going to go, and how are they going to have an impact on y'all's work with the March of Dimes?
Well, the research and the education and advocacy programs are so important, and that's what that money goes towards. And I have to say, in South Carolina, I'm so proud of this state and our state director for enabling us to have 92% of that money staying right here in South Carolina and going towards the March of Dimes and our research that we do. It's so important for people to understand that how much money it costs for a premature baby alone. An average baby in a hospital stay is about $1,300, but for a premature baby with just a principal diagnosis, it's $75,000. So it's so costly, and their money is definitely going towards the research of that, to find out the answers why. Half the cases we don't know why that's happening. So it's real important for them to all understand, for everyone to understand about that and where that money's going.
50% of premature births have no known cause. That's a
right.
dramatic number, Coleen.
It really is. And, we've had so many different ambassador families that have had, told their stories. The Wilsons last year, she had a full-term baby the first time and thought everything was going to be fine the second time, and it wasn't. Parker was born prematurely. And in Lake City, we've got some very good representation in Lake City, actually. A teen mother who was pregnant with twins, and one didn't survive. And the second one, this other child was born prematurely and weighing about 2 pounds. And, the struggles that they go through and the lifelong consequences, they're astounding. And every day when I learn more and more about these families, it tugs at my heart, and I don't know how it doesn't tug at anybody else's.
Yeah. I think you brought with you, Coleen, the examples, a couple of different examples to highlight the differences between a full-term baby and a premature baby.
Well, I've got actually a full-term baby would wear this size diaper, but this is what a premature baby would wear. And as you can see, Greg, it's about 2 times the size, if not bigger. It's amazing. And sometimes I've heard from different families that they've told me that even these preemie diapers are too big for these babies being born at 1 pound, 2 pounds.
And of course, there's so many potential complications that can happen early on in life when you're born. Let's say a premature birth is earlier than 37 months, I believe, and a very premature birth is before 32 months.
Actually, a preterm baby is any baby that's born prior to 36 weeks gestation.
Okay, 36 weeks.
36 weeks. 37 months, we'd be in a lot more trouble, too, I'm sure.
Forgive me, yes.
But and anything less than 5 pounds is considered preterm.
Okay.
So those are some of the things that, for people to be aware of. But in the instance of lifelong consequences, we don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes they're mentally retarded, sometimes there's blindness. There can be many other complications, and some that we can't detect right away. It may be a learning disability that once they get into school that we realize that can be affected by premature birth.
Right. That's a very important point. I think I see on your right thumb there's also another important symbol.
A lot of premature families will the mom or dad will take off their wedding band and be able to slip it on to their child's arm and go all the way up to the shoulder.
Golly.
And it's amazing. I've seen pictures of it. It was hard for me to understand it because it never happened in my family, but I have to say when I see pictures of this and there's still room, it's amazing.
That is. Now, of course, a viewer oftentimes is watching and thinking, this isn't happening in my community. The premature births aren't happening here. This is happening all over the state, isn't it?
It is. It really is, actually. We just got some statistical data from 2003, and in South Carolina alone, in 2003, there were almost 7,900 babies born prematurely.
Is that right?
It's pretty amazing, and actually I looked at the statistics a little bit closer, and actually Horry County had 366 babies. And Greg, when you think of that number, and then I'm able to tell you that when I went to the NICU in McLeod last year, there were 400 babies registered that year alone. There's only 3 NICUs in the state of South Carolina, in McLeod and Charleston at MUSC and in Greenville. And when you think of Horry County having 366 babies born prematurely, and most of them, not all of them going to McLeod, you can tell. You can do the math, and it's pretty frightening, actually.
That is. You said 7,900 statewide, only 400 going to McLeod, so the other 7,500 are going to MUSC, and the one in the upstate, there are only 3 NICUs in the state.
Exactly.
How can those other 2 hospitals cover all that?
Very overwhelmingly. Like I said, there's just so much that we can do in the way of doing the research. We just still need the money to get there, to find out the answers of why this is happening and stopping it. In 2003, when we launched the campaign, it was a 5-year campaign. Well, we just found out that they've decided to extend that campaign to 2010, so that we can find out why this is happening, and it's on the rise. Prematurity is still on the rise, and we want to make that awareness by 2010 to have 60% of the women that are childbearing years aware of this, as well as having 50% for the general public to know about this increase.
The amazing thing was that the 1 in 8 figure, that 1 out of every 8 babies is born prematurely. Is that correct?
That is correct. Actually, nationwide, it's 476,000 babies a year. And in South Carolina alone, it's 149 babies a week.
You know, that even more powerful aspect was what Nick Scherfus, he was with us last Friday, the chairman of the Horry County chapter of the March of Dimes, pointed out that even more alarming was that is a 27% increase from 1980. It's actually gone up. The 1 in 8 figure has gone up, which is an incredible thing when you think about it, as opposed to going down.
Absolutely, and that's why they've decided to extend that campaign out to 2010, because we need to find out and get going the other direction to have it decrease. We've got to get the awareness out there. We've got to continue to do the research on it and get people educated about it. That's another thing that I've been really involved in, is getting into the schools. I mean, we have a lot of our teams from schools. They're raising money by doing change days for babies and selling the baby booties. And it's real important for the younger children to understand what the March of Dimes is doing to help prematurity. And I've been able to share with them some statistics, to tell them that, you know, a lot of times you'll hear women that are over 40 are at a high risk. Well, I've been able to find data that from 2000 to 2002, where we've had actually the next highest level is women that are having babies less than 20 years of age.
Wow.
And it's real important to get them educated about it as well.
Teen pregnancy is a big deal.
Absolutely. We have it as well in Dillon County. Dillon County's ambassador is a teen mom. She's a senior at Dillon High School. And had a baby. Niceer was born a little bit over 3 pounds.
Preventing teen pregnancy is a big deal. There's so many other aspects, obviously, in South Carolina where those funds are being focused into. Of course, I think a lot of focus on mothers across the board, letting them know the impacts of prematurity and the things that can be done. Right. Carolyn Ewing, the chairman of the Loris Walk, was with us talking about not eating sprouts on a salad bar, on a buffet. That's an issue that had come up in the recent past, certain things that you wouldn't necessarily think of.
Well, we've been very fortunate with having Caroline, because she started the Loris Walk America, so we've been very fortunate. She has much more knowledge than I think I even do. But she did find that information out, because I was able to provide that to her when I found it out on a website. I mean, it wasn't something that the March of Dimes doesn't tell us every little thing but we have the knowledge to go onto our website, which has a vast amount of information. Any questions that you have, go online to marchadimes.com.
Okay.
We've got some great things for the ambassador families, for anybody that's had a premature baby. You know, it's a scary time when they're having these babies born so small and they don't know what to do. It's one thing when you're having your first child, but to have your first child and it to be premature. So there's a share website that the March of Dimes has provided, which is marchadimes.com/share. And people can go on and just chat with other people that are going through the same thing, or have gone through the same thing they are going through.
For a viewer who doesn't have access to the internet, or can't go down to the library, or doesn't get out of the house much, they could still call your office and learn more about some of the statistics, or y'all could possibly mail them something, or they could find a place they could pick it up.
Absolutely. I've had that happen a few times actually in the office. They'll call and they say that they don't have access to a computer. So I've just sometimes I'll go online right away if I've got a free moment, and they can wait a second for it to come up, and I'll provide them with that information. And if not, yes, absolutely, we can get the information to them by mail.
Coleen, why are teams important for Walk America? Why is there a need? Why doesn't everyone just go out on their own and raise funds on their own, so you can have a lot of individuals chipping in?
Well, I think it's so much more fun, actually. I think the teams really do have a lot of fun when they can get together and they go against each other and kind of do some competition and friendly competition. Some of them are a little bit more aggressive than others, with that competition. But I think it shows that they just really want to get involved, and it's always better to have 2 people than just 1 person, but 1 person can still make a huge difference. I tell people all the time, I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're 1 person or 100 people on a team, you can make a difference.
So I can be a team.
You can absolutely be a team.
I can be the
you can do
Herald
it
for Babies team. Right?
That's right. Absolutely. I mean, you can go online and register and just start the team right away. And like you said, I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's 10 days out or 20 days out. You can still make a difference.
Of course, a lot of folks can't get out and walk, or they're not in town on April 23rd or April 30th or May 7th. What can they do? What could a viewer do to be involved if they can't get out that day, or if they could get out but can't walk?
I think a lot of people misunderstand when we say that we're going to walk for babies on that day, that they can't participate because they're going to be out of town or they can't walk. Come out. If you can't walk, come out and sit. We'll have a chair for you. You can still participate in the fun. If you're not going to be there, you can still register online. You can still participate by raising money and sending it in. I mean, you can actually mail it in. That's fine, or we'll come pick it up wherever you are.
Right. Listen
I mean,
to
we
that.
really do need the money to do the research. It's so important.
You know, I think, Carolyn, you shared with us that there is, where y'all kick off the walk next Saturday on the 23rd there in Loris. Isn't there a home right there, or a home for disabled folks or otherwise, that the football team is going to come out and push the residents of that home?
They are. They're actually. It starts at the Loris Extended Care Facility, and that's
Okay.
where it wraps around and finishes up as well. But yes, Steve Campbell is our co-chair, and he's actually having some of the football players come out and push the residents. And they really enjoy that.
Oh, yeah.
They really do. The residents there really enjoy it. We've had them there a couple of times, and I know that the football team is pretty buff enough to push them around the community.
Yeah, that is a great idea. Carolyn was thrilled about that, and I think to see that kind of excitement of the students, the children, I mean the kids, the football players, their excitement about getting out and getting involved with the folks at the home there.
I have to say, Carolyn has been a blessing to have as a co-chair with me as well, and with Steve, helping out. And the schools have participated so much. This year we've had more schools than we have ever had, and Loris is going to have a great walk, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Great. Share with us who's co-chairing the Lake City and Dillon walks coming up on the 30th and on May 7th.
Well, I'm blessed again to have a wonderful chair in Lake City with Linda Godwin, and
Oh, yeah.
LeGrand Miles is our revenue chair.
Oh, great.
And then we have Coach Hayes, who is the football coach at Dillon High School, who is our chairman, and then Don Sandoval, who is the CEO at McLeod Medical Center in Dillon, is our revenue chair. So I'm very fortunate. Joe had them all in line for me when I took over, so it was great.
That's right. Of course, Coleen, last year you were so intimately involved with the Horry County Walk America, which had just a dramatic success. I think 100-some thousand goal, and you all virtually doubled it.
We did. We had actually 156,000 goal, and we exceeded over 200,000. So this year, Joe's really got her work cut out for her, but a lot of teams are participating more than they did last year, and I'm hoping that we all have a good walk every day from now until then.
That's right. The Georgetown Walk's coming up, I believe, on the 23rd
On
as
April
well?
23rd, and at the same time as I have the walk in Loris. And then we have National Walk America Day, which is April 30th with Horry County at the Myrtle Beach Pavilion. And we're in Lake City. I'm in Lake City at Lions Park. And then May 7th is Dillon County Walk, which is going to be at Dillon High School.
We went over to the Lake City Walk last year. I don't remember the exact date at Lions Park. It was pouring down rain, and they had an incredible crowd there all walking that day. It was amazing to see the turnout that day in the pouring rain.
I was so impressed with that community that day, actually, because I was out there. They just were troopers. They went out there, rain or shine, and we do have our walks. They're rain or shine.
Yeah.
And they got out there and they participated, and they didn't meet the goal by bank day or by walk day, but that community, I'm a testament to know that. They keep on plugging away, and they did make their goal. It wasn't by walk day, but they made their goal
great.
after walk day.
I did
So
not
they're an
know that.
incredible community.
Yeah, Lake City's got so much going on, and of course the aspects there of being at Lions Park and their commitment of getting out. And in Dillon, where do y'all kick off the walk on May 7th?
We're at the Dillon High School. We'll
Okay.
kick it off at Dillon High School, and then we'll walk throughout the community, and the refreshments will be provided at Dillon High School as well.
So all the walks are very similar, Coleen, in that all of them have the ambassador babies kicking off the walk as really as a testament or a recognition of the, as you say, the face of the March of Dimes.
That's right. They're very important to us, and we want them to be leading the walk. They're why we're doing it.
You know, as you look back over your last, Colleen, 15 months or so involved, more than a year now with the March of Dimes, Colleen, the PD division, what's been the most exciting aspect for you as you look back on this experience?
Just meeting an incredible amount of people that are just so caring and giving. That's been the best part of this job, and seeing these babies and these families, and just knowing that I'm doing something that I really want to do and making a difference, and hopefully making a difference in other people's lives and getting that awareness out.
That you are, and thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thanks, Greg.
Good luck on the walks.
Thanks.
Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Coleen Shanley coming up next. Close your eyes. Take the time to do that. Imagine having a baby 3 months early weighing less than 2 pounds. You got to take the time. At the same time, remember this phone number. While your eyes are closed, 843-488-3463. It's a critical number. It impacts a lot of different communities. The PD division is reaching out on a daily basis. We got 5 walks coming up within the next 4 weeks. On April 23rd in Georgetown and over in Loris, on April 30th in Lake City, and all over America, as well as in Myrtle Beach, the Horry County Walk American on May 7th. In Dillon, a lot of communities. There'll be more walks in the fall. There's more walks all over the year in whatever community you're in. Take the time to write down that number, 843-488-3463. You've got to think of a day. The March of Dimes is thinking of that day when the questions will be answered. Answers can't come soon enough. March of Dimes is fighting for babies. Be a part of that fight.